The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, April 3, reveal that Michael Baldwin will face a risky job assignment, while Diane Jenkins Abbott deals with some horror. Meanwhile, Lauren Baldwin will also ask Nikki Newman to become a traitor, so here's what Y and R fans can expect. For starters, Victor Newman will trust Michael to tackle a new assignment, one that may require him to play a little dirty. Michael is no stranger to getting down in the mud for Victor's sake, so he may be willing to do whatever his boss asks. That should be what Lauren's worried about when she summons Nikki for a conversation about Victor's shady plans. Lauren tends to worry about Michael getting tangled up in more drama than he bargained for when it comes to Victor. At the Jazz Lounge, Lauren will ask for a huge favor. Although it'll mean betraying Victor, Lauren will hope Nikki's willing to come through for her as a friend. It sounds like Lauren will count on Nikki to intervene when it comes to Michael's latest orders, or at least find out more about them. Nikki will end up confronting Michael and digging for info later, so it appears she'll go along with Lauren's wishes. If Victor gets updates on Nikki's actions, he won't be happy about her going behind his back. However, Victor might downplay whatever he's up to and work to convince Nikki that there's no need to worry. Even so, Nikki will deal with growing concerns after Lauren warns her about Victor's agenda. This might involve Victor's Aristotle Dumis plot, but we can't forget about Victor's Jabot takedown scheme either, especially now that his spies are planted. Since both Lauren and Nikki consider Jack Abbott a friend, they'll both be motivated to look out for him as Victor goes after revenge. Diane will want to look out for Tracy Abbott as well once she gets news on all the Alan Laurent, aka Martin Laurent mayhem. It seems Tracy will come clean about the trap she's setting and leave Diane panicking over the threat to her safety. Despite Diane's predictions about the danger, Tracy may stick to her plan to gaze in Alan's eyes and try to pry some confessions out of him. That said, the Young and the Restless spoilers say Tracy will struggle with some fears of her own before the week's over, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless recap for Wednesday, April 2, reveals that Phyllis Summers will ask Sally Spectra to derail Billy Abbott and Aristotle Dumis deal. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott will also face some alarm bells, so let's talk about what's in store on Wednesday's Y and R episode. At the GCAC, Diane Jenkins Abbott will sense that Jack is worried about something personal, but she'll decide not to push too hard for answers. As for the upcoming reveal of the Abbott mansion renovations, Diane will continue to make positive predictions about Jack liking the changes. At Society, Phyllis will give Billy updates on her Aristotle Dumis research, which turned up nothing at all. Aristotle is obviously rich enough to buy anonymity and potentially cover up crimes, so Phyllis won't have a good feeling about Billy teaming up with him. Although Billy will assure Phyllis that his eyes are wide open, he won't think he can dismiss an offer this huge just because Aristotle keeps a low profile. When Lily Winters pops up and hears Aristotle's name, she'll push for answers. Billy and Phyllis will end up trading Aristotle info with Lily, who'll become even more concerned over Dumas' true motives. Phyllis will have growing fears as well, so she'll decide to seek some backup. At Crimson Lights, Sally will fret to Chloe Mitchell about Phyllis being a bad influence on Billy, so Chloe will urge her to take a page out of her old scheming playbook and get rid of her. Sally won't want to stoop that low and revert to bad behavior, but Chloe will basically act like trouble always follows Phyllis. Once Phyllis shows up and asks for a word with Sally, they'll step out on the patio. That's where Phyllis will bring up Billy's possible deal with Aristotle, who's dangerous and taking Billy's focus off Abbott communications. Phyllis will contend that if anyone can talk Billy out of making the deal with Dumis, it's Sally. Although Sally will want to let Billy make business decisions for himself, Phyllis will push for help protecting Billy from Aristotle's potential manipulation. At Billy's place, Jack will show up to finalize the paperwork for his Abbott Communications investment. That'll give Billy a chance to spill about Aristotle reaching out to right the wrong that was done to him at Chancellor. Jack won't like the sound of that, nor will he like hearing that Aristotle is tangled up in Lily drama too. Billy will assure Jack that he's all in on Abbott Communications, so Jack will show his trust in his brother by signing the papers. Since Aristotle's name is popping up everywhere in Genoa City, even Billy will seem a little suspicious about what this guy's really up to. At the Jazz Lounge, Damian Cain and Nate Hastings will meet up with Holden Novak, who'll be offended when he basically gets accused of leaking false information to make Damian look bad. Holden will deny it and rant about Damian treating him differently since they came to Genoa City. After Holden clashes with Nate, there will be some talk about Victor Newman before Lily joins the discussion. Lily will acknowledge that Victor has a trusted source who supplied the info, so she'll think that's more reliable than Damian's word. Since Damian will want to convince Lily and Nate that he's not the bad guy, Lily will push him to spill details on the true nature of his relationship with Aristotle. Damian won't want to divulge his boss' secrets, but Lily will keep pushing him to come clean and reveal Aristotle's agenda in GC. The young and the restless spoilers say Aristotle will cause even more chaos around town, so stay tuned for all the bad news that's brewing. The young and the restless spoilers and updates tease there are 3 ways Kyle Abbott's engagement ring could create turmoil. Proposing to Claire Newman might bring about additional complications, so let's explore how the situation could unfold. Kyle may not be completely in love with Claire yet, but he is definitely moving closer to that feeling. It likely won't be long before he feels ready to express his love, which might even lead to a marriage proposal. It's easy to picture Kyle wanting to make a strong statement to silence his critics, particularly Victor Newman and Summer Newman. But is proposing marriage this soon really the best decision? Kyle could be risking a lot if he rushes into this with Claire, so let's explore how his possible engagement ring could create more tension. To begin with, Claire may hesitate and feel that it's premature for such a significant step. This could lead her to doubt Kyle's intentions, making her wonder if he is genuinely prepared for marriage. Claire might be concerned that Kyle is proposing just to impress Victor and Summer. She could also question whether Kyle is truly committed enough to fully invest in a marriage with her. In other words, if Kyle decides to propose, it could create tension between them and potentially jeopardize their relationship. Victor assured Claire that he wouldn't interfere with her relationship with Kyle, but he could reconsider if Kyle proposes. If Kyle successfully persuades Claire to get married, Victor might become intent on preventing the wedding. Fans of Y and R understand that Victor doesn't easily give up when he desires something. Right now, his goal is to see Claire and Kyle break up, and that desire will intensify if an engagement occurs. Victor will keep trying until he succeeds, continuing his tricks until they succeed. Summer could take a turn for the worse if Claire and Kyle get engaged in the future. This situation could push Summer to her limits, prompting her to escalate. Her scheming. Her jealousy might reach new heights, leading her to try to sabotage the engagement. It's possible that Summer could join forces with Victor to thwart Kyle and Claire's wedding plans. Meanwhile, Claire is holding on to her optimistic visions of her future with Kyle. However, their happiness could quickly unravel, especially if a marriage proposal leads to disaster. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that some new hints are dropping, so we have to ask, is Cain Ashby the man behind Aristotle Dumis' empire? Is Daniel Goddard returning to the show? On Instagram, Goddard has been hyping up some big news that he can't share yet, so fans have speculated that it might involve a return to soaps. Of course, a Y&R comeback could be an option, so that's worth keeping in mind. However, it's some dialogue from the March 2 episode that really got our attention. After Billy Abbott mentioned Aristotle to Jack Abbott, Jack recalled that Aristotle came on the scene 5 or 6 years ago out of nowhere. Goddard exited as Cain Ashby in 2019, so the timing fits for him to potentially be Aristotle Dumis. What if Cain created this new Aristotle Dumis identity for himself after he departed Genoa City? Fans may recall that Colin Atkinson's scam made it seem like Cain was the intended heir of Catherine Chancellor's fortune, which led to Devin Winters transferring his money. Colin stole the fortune and vanished soon after, but the money was ultimately discovered and restored to Devin's account. Cain was part of the search for Colin, who got arrested in the end. Of course, Cain might have enjoyed that brief taste of being a multi-billionaire and resolved to make a real splash in the business world. Colin surely had plenty of shady connections that could have helped Cain along the way. We know Aristotle keeps an extremely low profile and that no pictures of him can be found online. Is that because longtime viewers will recognize Aristotle Dumis once he's finally shown on screen? If that's the case, then it could be Cain who's ultimately revealed as the man behind Aristotle's empire. Perhaps Damian Cain is keeping a huge secret from Lily Winters if he's working for her ex-husband. There's a chance Damian's romantic interest in Lily early on was more about keeping tabs on her for Cain. It also makes sense why Cain would want to stick it to Victor and team up with Billy to go after Chancellor. Cain is the former CEO and has had Chancellor-related conflict with Victor before. Although Billy has spoken to someone claiming to be Aristotle over the phone, Cain might have had one of his employees pose as him. It's not far-fetched to think that, especially after the way Holden Novak posed as Damian not too long ago. Regardless, it's clear that Aristotle has some elaborate agenda involving multiple key players in Genoa City. It's reasonable to believe that's because Aristotle has Genoa City ties himself, and Cain certainly does. Do you think Cain Ashby might be the person using the Aristotle Dumis alias? Is Daniel Goddard coming back to Y and R? The Young and the Restless spoilers say some troubling Aristotle predictions will continue to spread in GC, so stay tuned for updates on any shockers to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of April 7 to 11 reveal that Martin Laurent aka Alan Lawrence Fury may be unleashed while Sally Spectra plays a dangerous game. Billy Abbott will also have a decision to make, so let's discuss what's coming up in Genoa City. For starters, Tracy Abbott seems poised to put herself in a terrifying situation, one that could end in disaster. I and our fans know Tracy hopes to pretend she loves Alan, no matter what, and convince him to come clean about all his disturbing behavior. Alan may eventually confess to holding Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers captive, but he may not stop there. Tracy already made a prediction about Alan actually being his twin brother, so there's a good chance she'll be proven right. Unfortunately, Tracy could lose control of this setup once Martin admits his real identity. After Martin realizes he's been duped, Tracy could land in a tight spot. Martin may determine that Tracy doesn't understand him as well as he thought. If furious Martin decides Tracy is of no use to him, that could put her in harm's way, at least until Jack Abbott or Chance Chancellor can rescue her. Of course, no one can guarantee Ashley Abbott's safety at this point either. Since Martin was in Paris arranging a surprise where Ashley currently lives, another big reveal is possible involving Ashley in captivity. Regardless, some serious Martin drama is about to erupt for the Abbott clan, so stay tuned for updates on all the chaotic news ahead. Elsewhere, Sally may surrender to Phyllis' pressure and try to shut down Billy's deal with Aristotle Dumis. However, Billy will certainly find it difficult to pass up an opportunity at reclaiming Chancellor, no matter how shady this guy is. Is there anything Sally can say or do to stop Billy's partnership with Aristotle? Will Billy realize Phyllis put Sally up to this and ultimately feel betrayed by them both? Sally could be playing a dangerous game since this might affect her romance. Billy and Sally are still working to build trust in their relationship, but Sally's actions could bring a setback. It's possible Sally and Phyllis' efforts will backfire, meaning they could rile Billy up enough to make a bigger commitment to Aristotle and really get in deep with this mysterious alliance. Despite Phyllis and Sally's growing concerns, Billy may decide it's worth the risk. Billy claims his eyes are wide open when it comes to Aristotle, but he could be signing up for trouble by doing business with him. Speaking of trouble, Summer Newman should cause more of it for Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman, too. The closer Claire and Kyle get, the more Summer seems determined to break them up. The young and the restless spoilers say Victor Newman's disapproval will remain an obstacle for Kyle and Claire as well, so don't miss any tricks up his sleeve. Tensions rise in Genoa City as the young and the restless spoilers hint at a brewing family storm. Billy Abbott's latest decision may wreck his relationship with Jack and possibly the entire Abbott legacy. The brothers have enjoyed a stretch of calm lately. Jack even supported Billy with praise and a major investment in Abbott Communications, but that trust may soon crumble. Billy recently aligned himself with Aristotle Dumis, a shadowy figure in the business world. He's not just pitching ideas, he's promising power, victory, and control over Chancellor. That kind of offer is tempting, especially to someone like Billy, who always feels the need to prove himself. Aristotle lures Billy in by claiming he'll handle Victor Newman and all the fallout. Billy believes he can stay clean while winning big, but that belief might destroy everything. Jack remains hopeful about Billy's progress. He thinks Billy has moved on from revenge. He believes in the new path Billy claims to follow. But the young and the restless spoilers reveal that Jack will uncover the real story soon, and he won't hold back. When Jack learns about the secret deal with Aristotle, he'll feel betrayed and furious. He'll realize Billy hasn't changed, he's just hiding his next big mistake. Jack will confront his brother, knowing Aristotle can't be trusted and sensing this deal will backfire. He won't let Billy risk the Abbott name or company on false promises. Billy, meanwhile, thinks he's in control, but Aristotle plays a bigger game. Jack will warn him, loudly, that aligning with a snake never ends well. He'll fear Victor's wrath and doubt that Billy will even get Chancellor in the end. If Jack's right, Billy's going to lose much more than a deal. He'll lose Jack's faith and the family's support. This feud is about to reignite, and this time, the fallout may be too big to fix. A dangerous storm brews as the young and the restless spoilers tease Billy's deal with Aristotle will explode. Jack won't sit back and watch. Brace yourself, Genoa City's next war may begin with the Abbotts. Stick with Soap Opera Daily for more sizzling updates and daily soap drama. See you next time. The young and the restless spoilers document that Damian Cain continues to practice the art of deflection. He tellingly turned the conversation around when Lily Winters told him what her unnamed source revealed. Damian didn't deny Lily's assertion. Instead, he tried to obtain clarification by asking her about what she thought she had learned about his knowledge of her family and its business. He also tried to make Lily doubt the accuracy of that information, but she stood firm, choosing to believe that what Victor Newman relayed was sincere and correct. Amy Lewis was just taken upstairs in the penthouse after feeling woozy. With her cancer treatment concluded and the return trip having taken a physical toll, Amy was ready to rest. Nate Hastings and his brother helped Amy up the stairs, with Dominic's character taking her to the guest bedroom. Damien stayed behind for plotting purposes, with Lily about to make her entrance at the front door. Damien was initially happy to see her, believing she was furthering what he felt was a friendship. While River's character is taken with Lily, he's also attempting to use his charm to gain intel about Winters Incorporated. Nate is balancing two weighty issues. Most importantly, he wants Amy to be healthy as soon as reasonably possible. He and Audra Charles have formed a quick bond with Amy that has deepened. She fills a maternal role for both halves of the couple. Add that she's the mother of Nate's paternal brother, and his feelings for Amy are real. Nate also hopes that Damien will become a part of his life. While that effort is complex and one that both men need to work on, they appear to be interested in developing a real relationship. They also know Amy's spirit is bolstered by their attempts to get to know each other. Damien was struck by Lily's high physical appeal when he first saw her at society. He did respond with disbelief when learning that the man he believed to be his father wasn't, that Nate was his brother, and that Amy was facing a terminal illness. All points made in the above paragraph may be true. It's also possible that Lily's beauty is the only thing he wasn't aware of before coming to Genoa City, Wisconsin. Nate, Amy, and the Winters family can't be sure what Damien's intentions are yet. Like the audience, they need more information. It's likely that Damien's mysteries will become known as Aristotle Dumis' identity and goals become clearer or are fully revealed this spring or by summer. This site is a leading source for everything linked to The Young and the Restless. Check back regularly for Y and R spoilers and news. Tensions run high in Genoa City as Lauren Baldwin takes desperate measures to protect her husband, Michael, from Victor Newman's latest scheme. With Michael once again entangled in Victor's dangerous business dealings, Lauren fears he's being manipulated into a situation that could jeopardize both his career and his life. Determined to free him from Victor's grasp, she turns to an unexpected ally, Nikki Newman. In a secretive meeting, Lauren pleads with Nikki to intervene, hoping that Victor's wife can use her influence to steer Michael away from the billionaire's latest shady dealings. However, Lauren takes it a step further, proposing a bold plan. One that would force Nikki to betray Victor in a way that could permanently damage her marriage. Nikki is torn between her loyalty to Victor and her growing unease over his ruthless tactics. As she weighs her options, she realizes that protecting Michael might mean putting herself directly in Victor's crosshairs. But what Lauren and Nikki don't realize is that Victor is already onto them. While discussing their secret plan, Victor accidentally overhears their conversation. This revelation sends shockwaves through the Newman household, as Victor now knows that his own wife may be conspiring against him. Will Victor retaliate against Nikki for this perceived betrayal? And will Michael realize the extent of the danger he's in before it's too late? With alliances shifting and secrets being exposed, the drama between Victor, Lauren, and Nikki is about to reach a boiling point. Fans can expect intense confrontations, high-stakes betrayals, and a power struggle that could change the course of their lives forever. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks, starting from March 31 to April 4, 2025, tease wild emotional storms and dangerous games. From romantic shakeups to schemes that go too far, Genoa City will face the heat. Phyllis may trigger Sally's fury, and Tracy could risk it all chasing the truth. Here's what's coming your way from March 31 to April 11, 2025. In this week of The Young and the Restless, Jack will urge Victoria to give Victor a stern warning. If Victor interferes in Kyle and Claire's love life, Jack won't stay quiet. Victoria might not follow through, but she'll secretly try to protect the young couple from her father's wrath. Lily will confront Damien and call him out, but he'll quickly flip the blame, discrediting her sources. Damien will also try charming Nate to cover his tracks. Still, Lily won't sit quietly. She'll take matters into her own hands, ready to expose the manipulation. Chelsea will choose Adam, leaving Billy focused on business. That means shady dealings with Aristotle Dumis and a plot to regain Chancellor. Jack will sense trouble and try to pull Billy back, but will his advice stick? Sally will explode at Adam during a heated exchange. Her patience runs thin, especially when she senses Phyllis hovering too close to Billy. Chloe will nudge Sally to play dirty again. Will she take the bait and strike back? Victor will give Michael a risky mission. Lauren, worried for her husband, will beg Nikki for help. Nikki will wrestle with her conscience, but may end up siding with Lauren, secretly derailing Victor's plans. Tracy will push forward with her risky plan to trap Alan aka Martin Laurent. Diane will warn her, but Tracy won't back down. Soon, she'll meet Martin alone and realize just how dangerous he really is. Tracy will try convincing Martin she still cares, even after uncovering his dark past. But when he realizes she's tricked him, things could spiral. If Tracy ends up in real danger, someone like Jack or Chance may need to swoop in fast. Martin might admit to kidnapping Ashley. If so, he could use her to get out of trouble or make things worse. Tracy's risky plan might put both sisters in jeopardy. Phyllis will keep circling Billy, and Sally won't stay silent. Their relationship will feel the strain, especially with Billy's risky deals and ex-drama weighing them down. Audra's week takes a twist when she receives a surprise offer. Holden Novak might be back in the picture, and if so, he could lure Audra into a trap or something deeper. The Young and the Restless spoilers promise chaos, danger, and twists through April 11. With power plays, love triangles, and hidden motives everywhere, no one's safe. Don't miss the drama ahead, only on Soap Opera Daily. See you next time. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, April 2, 2025 are here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Phyllis Summers and Sally Spectra to connect. Jack Abbott keeps Billy Abbott in line. Plus, Lily Winters commits a drastic act. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the next episode of the CBS soap opera. On Wednesday, April 2, Sally and Phyllis will cross paths. Sally knows that Billy and Phyllis are business partners. Sally is also aware that Phyllis knows more about Billy's deal with Aristotle Dumis than she does. Sally is really worried about Billy. While Sally and Phyllis are not friends, the younger redhead could turn to her enemy for answers. Phyllis might be worried about Billy as well. However, in the past, Phyllis tends to think it's better to keep Billy close rather than disagree with him. It's what she did the short time she was at Chancellor, and seems to be going this way as well. Despite Phyllis' concerns, she probably won't give Sally any useful information. Plus, Phyllis might be acting a bit too civil to Sally for it to be believable. At some point, Sally meets up with Chloe Mitchell. Sally probably won't mention the secret deal with Dumas. However, Sally could bring up Phyllis. That is when Chloe suggests she played dirty to get rid of her competition. In fact, going back to Phyllis playing nice, she's probably under orders from Billy to behave. The past few episodes have all been about people complaining about others' romantic partners. Perhaps Phyllis playing nice will make Sally assume Billy's cheating. The Young and the Restless spoilers for tomorrow reveal that Jack will smell trouble. Jack will question Billy about his plans. However, Billy will cover and claim that everything is on the up and up. Jack gave Billy the funding for Abbott Communications, so he will want to be sure that wasn't a mistake. Despite Jack's gut, he will want to believe Billy. Also, Lily takes matters into her own hands. Could Lily confront Victor Newman about Dumas and Damian Cain? Maybe Lily calls Denise Tolliver to see what she can dig up about Dumas. Amy Lewis did mention Denise during a recent episode, so stay tuned. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what is coming up next. Viewers know him as Adam Newman on The Young and the Restless, but when it comes to his portrayer, there are many things one may not know about Mark Grossman. The CBS soap fave recently went on State of Mind to talk with General Hospital's Maurice Benard about mental health and opened up about a very personal part of his life. Over talk of mental illness, while the actor doesn't suffer from any of his own, he revealed he had a younger brother who did. I had a younger brother who passed. He was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. Grossman shared, then went on to reflect back on his death on January 1, 2007. He was 19 and his younger brother was 17, and while he wasn't officially diagnosed until probably 3 months before he passed. The actor talked about how the whole progression of him getting worse took place over a time period of 2 or 3 years. At the time, the family had no idea what had been going on. I don't know what I thought about it then, like I probably thought, oh, my brother's going through a phase, Grossman stated. He recalled how they were both attending public school and how his brother suddenly wanted to be homeschooled. He started to withdraw and things just got worse and worse. Other things started to happen and Grossman went on to explain. He stopped hanging out with his friends and then it really got real bad. He put on weight. He would wear all black. He would not want to go in public. He would shower in the dark. It took a while to get that bad. There was times where he was walking around the house with a bat. He was extremely paranoid. And at the time, his parents didn't know what to do. However, when it got so bad, they took him to a doctor and he was diagnosed. But there was a pretty long period of time where they just did what parents did. They loved their kid. He remembered seeing how much pain his brother was in, but at 19 years old, Grossman continued, I don't know that I comprehended what he was going through. I probably thought in that moment, hey, he's going to grow out of this. I didn't understand, but looking back, he was in a lot of pain. You can watch the full interview below, and if you know anyone who may need help, visit the National Institute of Mental Health for guidance. The Young and the Restless spoilers. When the past and present collide. A web of hidden loyalties is about to be unraveled as past and present collide. Diane's heart pounded with trepidation as she watched Billy and Jack scramble to establish contact with Aristotle Dumis. The mere mention of his name sent shivers down her spine. This wasn't just any man. This was someone from her past, a past she had fought hard to bury. Every whispered secret, every long-buried memory involving Aristotle was a painful reminder of a time filled with danger and betrayal. Diane's past is a minefield of buried secrets, and her toxic history with Aristotle, a relationship built on mutual exploitation, not trust, threatens to explode back into her life. As Billy and Jack unknowingly drag him into their orbit, Diane panics. His return could expose every lie she's ever told, destabilizing the Newman family's delicate power struggles. For a woman who spent years running from her demons, Aristotle isn't just a ghost, he's a wrecking ball. Unbeknownst to Jack, the man they were trying to contact was no ordinary mercenary. Diane suspected that Aristotle shared more than just a few fleeting encounters with her. They had a history shaped by shared enemies and unresolved vendettas. Their connection ran deeper than anyone realized. With Victor Newman looming large as an ever-present adversary, Aristotle's cooperation could be a game-changer. If he despised Victor as much as Billy and Jack did, he could be a valuable ally. However, the stakes were higher than they knew. Alongside their brewing plans for revenge, another explosive truth lay hidden, one that could shatter everything. Kyle's uncertain parentage had long been a thorn in Jack's side. While everyone assumed Jack was his biological father, only Diane knew the real truth. If Aristotle turned out to be Kyle's true father, it could ignite a chain reaction of betrayals and heartbreak. The revelation would leave Jack vulnerable, his identity as a father shattered, and Victor could seize the moment to gain the upper hand. The looming storm brought a critical question to the forefront. Whose side would Aristotle truly be on? In a world where alliances shifted like shadows, nothing was certain. If Aristotle's loyalty aligned more with those challenging Jack's authority, Victor would gain an unexpected advantage. Jack risked losing everything, his family, his honor, and the very foundation of his identity. On the other hand, if Aristotle's grudge against Victor still burned strong, he could join forces with Billy and Jack. Yet, Diane knew Aristotle was a dangerous wild card, capable of shifting the tides of power in unpredictable ways. His involvement could either solidify their plans or destroy them from within. Desperate to maintain control, Diane contemplated issuing an ultimatum. Would she dare confront Aristotle and demand his silence? And even if she did, how could she ensure that he would comply? Aristotle was a man who thrived on chaos. If he spoke, every long-buried secret would spill forth like a tidal wave, with devastating consequences. Jack could lose everything, and Victor might emerge as the ultimate victor in this ruthless struggle for power. If Diane were to face Aristotle, her voice would be cold and resolute. If you value any remnant of our past, or the fragile future we've built, you will hold your tongue. Some truths are too dangerous to be unleashed, and I won't allow you to jeopardize everything for your own vendetta. It wouldn't be a plea, it would be a command, a final warning that the stakes were nothing less than survival. As tensions rise and plans unfold, one question looms above all: who is the real enemy? Would Aristotle be an unexpected adversary to Jack, fueling rivalries from the past? Or would he stand firmly against Victor, bound by an old, unrelenting grudge? For Diane, the future was a haze of uncertainty. Every decision, every alliance, carried the power to tip the scales of fate. She understood that her past, one she could neither erase nor fully embrace, was the linchpin on which everything rested. In the cold light of truth, the lines between friend and foe blurred until nothing was as it seemed. In this dangerous game of secrets and silence, Diane had one plea: protect the future by guarding the past. Whether Aristotle would honor her demand for silence remained to be seen. But one thing was clear: when the past and present collide, the fallout would be nothing short of catastrophic. As the dust settles, Genoa City stands on the precipice of change. Familiar faces return, new alliances form, and the intricate web of relationships is poised to twist in ways no one sees coming. Dramatic developments loom on the horizon, challenging loyalties, revealing hidden truths, and forcing bold, life-altering decisions. After intensive treatment in Chicago, Amy Lewis is making her long-awaited comeback. Her return isn't just a personal triumph, it's a beacon of hope. With newfound strength and resilience, Amy is set to influence ongoing storylines in subtle yet profound ways. Her presence promises to shake the status quo, bringing fresh layers of complexity to those around her. Chloe Mitchell sparks controversy with blunt advice to Sally Spectra, forcing her to reckon with past choices and alliances. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, Tracy E. Bregman, returns with a dangerous agenda, pushing Nikki Newman to betray Victor Newman, a move that could ignite a full-scale rebellion against his empire. With shifting loyalties and high-stakes gambles, the battle for power will redefine relationships and legacies. The only rule: risk everything or lose it all. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that there are 3 ways Kyle Abbott's engagement ring for Claire could cause chaos. A marriage offer for Claire Newman could lead to more problems, so let's consider how things might play out. Although Kyle isn't sure he's quite at the love stage with Claire, he's definitely heading in that direction. It probably won't be long until Kyle's indeed ready to profess his love, which could lead to him proposing marriage too. It's easy to imagine Kyle deciding he should make a bold move to shut down the naysayers, namely Victor Newman and Summer Newman. However, is a marriage proposal really the right call? Kyle could be playing with fire if he tries to take this leap with Claire, so let's discuss how his potential engagement ring could bring more drama. 1. Claire worries it's too soon and questions Kyle's motives. For starters, Claire might pump the brakes and worry it's too soon for a step this huge. It could also leave Claire questioning Kyle's motives and wondering if he's truly ready to marry her. Claire might fear that Kyle is only popping the question to prove something to Victor and Summer. Perhaps Claire could doubt that Kyle's commitment runs deep enough to go all in on a marriage together. In other words, Kyle could rock the boat with Claire if he proposes, so that alone could be a factor in their romance falling apart. 2. Victor steps up his efforts to blow up Claire and Kyle's relationship. Although Victor promised Claire that he wouldn't do anything to sabotage her relationship with Kyle, he might change his mind if Kyle locks in an engagement. If Kyle manages to convince Claire to tie the knot, Victor may end up determined to stop the wedding. I and our fans know Victor isn't someone who just backs down when he wants something. At the moment, what Victor wants is for Claire and Kyle to split up, and he'll want that even more if an engagement happens. 3. Summer goes wild over Kyle and Claire's next step. Summer could also go off the rails if Claire and Kyle end up engaged down the road. That's the kind of thing that could really push Summer over the edge and cause her to take her scheming to the next level. Summer's jealousy could erupt more than ever before, so she might make it her mission to derail this engagement. Maybe Summer and Victor could even team up on shutting down Kyle and Claire's wedding plans. Whatever the case, Claire is trying to cling to all the happy predictions she's made about the path she's on with Kyle. Unfortunately, Claire and Kyle's bliss could take a wrong turn, especially if a marriage proposal leads to catastrophe. The young and the restless spoilers say Kyle and Claire's romance will come with more disastrous news and other roadblocks along the way, so stay tuned for updates on all the messes.